It's me, Maria Melendez, founder and CEO of Embrace Her Legacy. If you like what you're hearing today, check me out at embraceherlegacy.com. I got all my products and services there, coaching, calls, goal-setting calls, all that jazz. And I'm trying a new pink lip today, so I'm feeling myself. So I'm going to be honest. When I was preparing for this week's post, I was kind of struggling on this one because I didn't know if I wanted to share it. Two, it's not the easiest subject to talk about, especially when you're struggling with it, and that's something called faith. It's so easy, right, to tell everybody else to have faith, and to have faith the size of a mustard seed, and have faith, the faith of David beating a Goliath. But it's such another thing when, you have to now apply those same principles of faith and walk by faith. It's so easy to tell everybody else, walk by faith and not by sight. But another thing when it's up to you. And I noticed that myself, I was struggling with faith. And that's not something you want to admit, especially when you're a believer and you believe in God's power. It's like everybody else, you're looking around there like, faith, faith, faith. And I'm like, I'm struggling over here. I'm going to admit I am doing a little sightseeing and I'm walking by sight and not by faith. And that's something that I struggle with until I had to do some self-reflection. And I noticed that as I've grown as a woman, I don't like to play victim or say, God, why me? Why me? I like to look at my circumstances from a different lens and say, Maria, what are you supposed to learn from the circumstances, from the circumstance? Why do you think you are in this season? Trying to look at it from a positive perspective. And what I notice is that faith is something that you have to use. It's like a muscle, because if you don't use a certain muscle, it'll weaken and it won't be as strong. So I've noticed that what I believe God is challenging me, not even challenging me, empowering me and making me better, is to use my faith. I look back on my life, I've had quite the good life. And I've never really had to use faith. All great opportunities were kind of like not given to me. I always had to do the work, but I never really had to use my faith, and really believe, because all things in my life, nothing was really a hassle to achieve. Now, being a founder and CEO of a company, things are different, it's just a different journey. So I said to myself, okay, Maria, you have to use your faith. And this is why you're in this circumstances. 2014 has been one interesting year, for lack of a better word. Still definitely great successes, but still moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? So what I did is I developed something called Principles of Faith. I'm the type of person that when I go through something or when I learn something, I want to share with everybody, even if they don't want to listen. So what I'm doing right now is really sharing these quick principles of faith. They're nothing crazy, but just things that I learned, things that I just started adapting naturally, and I want to share them in hopes to encourage you and inspire you that if you're like one of the millions of us walking by faith and not by sight, when all you have is your faith and you don't have millions of dollars to stand on, because it's so easy to have faith when you have everything, but when things start dwindling, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? So real quick, let me get my piece of paper here. You guys like my vision boards in the back? So real quick, faith believes for the best and hopes for the best. Faith lets go of what one cannot control. Faith will get God's attention. Faith will drive out fear. Faith believes his word and not your feelings, something I am definitely getting better at. Faith knows that our feelings cannot always be trusted. Faith understands that when hearing the word no, that it is for the best and the right opportunity is on its way. Faith trusts the process. Faith prays with expectancy and lives with expectancy. Thank you, my pastor, A.R. Bernard, for that one. Faith gives. Faith is a principle of God. Faith believes when no one else around you does. Faith knows when to laugh it off and give it to God. Faith knows when to walk away. Faith checks thoughts of fear. Faith remains focused, empowering you to keep your eyes on on the prize. Faith gives thanks in advance, and faith lets go. That is my favorite one. Faith lets go. So if you're struggling with faith, I just want to encourage you. Walking by faith, I will not sit here and say, oh my God, it's the easiest thing, but it is the most rewarding thing. God will never ever give you more than you can handle, and He is empowering you to trust Him with whatever it is that you're going through. Let it go, give it to God, and know that you are not the only one walking by faith and not by sight. See you later. Check me out, EmbraceHerLegacy.com.